Hello, welcome back to Billy Ho Sports. We are covering Colonial Downs at the beginning of the week. Later on, when the entries come out, we'll have the big weekend at Kentucky Downs coming with big, giant $2 million purses across the board there. So today we're going to cover the Old Dominion 6, the Old Dirty 6, as I called it in the previous video. I've already released the Old Dominion Derby and Oaks video, so give that one a look to get you jumped off. And this one we're going to fly through pretty quickly, races 5 through 10. And we'll do a pick six ticket. Then we'll do a pick five ticket for races 6 through 10. And don't forget the split the pot giveaway coming up on Thursday. That's going to be part of Kentucky Downs card, but you're going to you're welcome to pick a race from this card as well if you feel stronger about it. So it's up to you. And if you are new to the channel, go look at the description. It'll tell you about how the split the pot contest works. I will draw on Thursday, like I said, and you have to be a subscriber. You have to leave a comment, and then obviously all the things to help support Billy Ho Sports, like hitting that like and using the hashtag BHS to promote Billy Ho Sports. So we're going to jump right into things and go with race number 5, the Kitten's Joy for 2-year-old fillies. Let's do it. So really tough to cover these babies, but we're going to give it a shot. Going a mile and a 16th on the turf. So Casa Cielo will start. Not highly ranked, but a solid looking filly. I mean, won the second out, just was beaten by a rival Jutland, who we'll get to in a little bit. But she set good fractions, held safe down the stretch in the much improved stretch out to a mile here. So stretching out a little further this time, I don't think that's a big deal. Caravaggio is a very good sire. I'll have more on that later on because there's a half sibling that I'll talk about later on down the way. But just know that horses like White Beam and Porta Fortuna, like big time Breeders' Cup horses, were sired by this one. So the first crop of 2-year-olds, she's part of this, or he's part of this, I should say. So good looking start for this one already. Empire of Glory, Jorge Ruiz, the aforementioned Hot Fire with James Lawrence coming in, and the win at Delaware, I'm not impressed. Poor trainer stats. I tend to auto fade just for time's sakes. Just really a really poor speed rating on that one as well. Going only 45K, going 7.5 at Delaware. Just no thanks. Got killed in this restricted race at Colonial back in July. So let's go to Smalls. Killing me, Smalls. Pretty much the same as the previous horse, but it looks a little better actually. The when I went back and looked at the Colonial race, which is closer to the distance, that was the first turf effort. It was a win, and it was a tracking a pretty solid pace altogether. So inside angled out and closed well. Just didn't look super fast doing it, and lots of negative ROI on the trainer here for Carlos Munoz. Only 7% wins, 5 wins and 70 starts so far. Not really that great. Just donuts across the board and all the stats that we're looking at here. So I'm going to pass on Smalls. Basically, I'm going to do 4 through 7. So the rest of these horses are important. Kid Charlemagne is the one I'm looking at here. Trainer Thomas put her on the dirt to start. Not the best results, but good at making those adjustments. You can see the horses was bred for grass. He's 26% second race, 30% first on the grass. First route, 19%, 71% in the money. So be using this one underneath. Adding the blinkers is a pretty good one too. That's always a chance to improve the focus and get this horse closer. So I don't normally like when I don't see these youngsters on the turf yet, but this one I'll give the kid a chance, so to speak. So number 5, JJ Gray. This one's Kenny McPeak, Manny Esquivel, won first out, going 50K on the maiden optional claimer. Tracked second, and when the 4-horse jumped ahead, he responded well and reeled that one in, no problem. Got by to win by 2. Good looking horse, obviously going to use. Nice looking bullet work here. 1 out of 26 at Colonial. I think is going to be ready to go. McPeak knows what he's doing. He ran Mystic Dan on this turf about a month ago, and Dan looked all right. So I'm gonna side with McPeak and keep that one in here. And then I'm going to also use the Tough Critic number 6, and we're going to see if the class don't sell on this one. Big time bucks. Here's the I guess it's Caravaggio. $350,000 at Keeneland auction. That's far more than anybody else flipped out for this race. So started off on the turf, won at Keeneland, and really good looking race there. Longshoreman came back to win its next race, then went out to Ascot and tried the Windsor Castle, going sprinting 5 furlongs straight away, and lost by 5.5 lengths. I don't pay attention to the finish because it's a blanket. Because I covered this race before. There were 23 horses in this race, I think. They had one scratch, so it was 23 horses across the track going straight. They split into two flights, left and the right hand side. I don't know which one this was on. I'll probably go back and look. But raced inside, led overall, pressed the leaders, and then edged out or edged right and weakened. So could have been right on the lead most of the way. So that was Ascot. Then comes back and runs in the Skidmore over at Saratoga, 5.5, and runs about average. But when I look back at that race, he hit the gate hard coming out, and then just kind of threw him off. Got behind by 8 lengths, then 11, and Franco wasn't pressing him to go, and just kind of plodded home fourth. So I'm gonna side with the breeding. I'm gonna side with the like I said, Caravaggio has produced, like I said, White Beam. The Gray Wizard is another one. Porta Fortuna, who I mentioned. I think the distance is good, but hasn't gone 2 turns yet. I just think it's really good breeding across the board on this one. Somebody thought so to pay 350K for them. So we're going to keep them in there. In Jutland, we're going to use this one too, because Kelsey Danner is looking really good, shipping, first time blinkers, all that kind of good. Not great from sprint route, but one first out, then tried the Soar Free at Woodbine. Didn't get there very well there. But when I looked at it, the left leg looked really just floppy down the stretch. Didn't look good at all. The stride just looked like the wrong lead to me. So getting Paco Lopez, I think that the jockey Vives looked like he was really trying to get the horse to switch leads, but couldn't do it because it looked like she flopped, or looked like he flopped back. That's just my own eyeball observation. Could not find one comment anywhere that said that. So I just don't know if it was just completely overlooked or what. But you can see awkward in this one, bid driving. So maybe just an awkward stride. I'll go back and look at that maiden at Indy's at Indy, but just one that I'll use just because I do like Paco jumping on, and everything else looks pretty good. Fire in the hole, Raging Bull, Sire. Maybe the distance might be an issue, but does have some good breeding on the dam side with Warfront. So we will see. Now, the pick six, leg one, we're going 4 through 7. So if we're betting the race, we're using the number 6 Tough Critic in a key box with the 4, 5, and the 7. So let's jump right to race number 6, the Colonial Cup. And this one goes a mile and a half. So got our marathon in here. Truly Quality is out. Truly Quality ran at Del Mar last weekend. So Dean Martini leads us off. Lacey Gaudette, did not know. I don't know why I never saw her name before, but Gabby Gaudette's older sister. So claimed this one from Peter Urton in June. Believe that was June. Yeah, this June passed. And ran, stretched them out, and pretty good results. Mile and a 3/16. So is going to go farther, but lost the crop. That was the one. Holy Toledo. I had to write that down so I wouldn't forget. The jockey Toledo hits the stretch, actually had a brief lead, and then he goes to pull the crop out, and he goes like that, and he just his hands in the air, and you see the crop twirling. So he just pulls it out, and it just flies right out of his hand. So I figured Jamie Rodriguez is going to be a little bit more experienced jockey in this one. So I do think he'll outrun his odds, so to speak. So I'm going to use underneath, but probably not on the ticket. Desvio is number 2 horse. This one, I don't think I'm going to get to. I would consider against exotics because of the competition. Closer probably will need a fast pace to run at. Couldn't get any ground going just the 9 furlongs. Right here, it was a pretty quick pace. Not really sure what happened there and why the dropping class didn't produce better results. But Goldeneye, very good horse. We saw run at Kentucky Downs and ran pretty good. And both of those won their next race. So I would call that a key race. The top 2 runners only lost by 2.25 lengths. So not too bad, even though it was a 6th place finish. I'd consider exotics. Has faced off versus horses like finished third in this particular race last year, finished third behind Deterministic and Grandmo the First. So others like Carson's Run, Fort Washington, definitely. Just a Photo is a Justify sire. Big timer coming in. Paco Lopez gets the mount. trying the all weather to the turf angle. I don't know if that's going to work for this one. Lost by just a half length in the Mr. Steel previously to that, though, and going a mile and a 16th on the turf. So pretty good effort there. A win on the turf prior to that. So has 3 wins and 8 turf starts. And should be able to handle the distance. I love that Paco rode him once before and has a win and a fourth down here in the optional claiming ranks. So just a photo, one to look at. Truly quality's out. Dear Dad coming in. And Dear Dad, Mark Cassidy ships this one in. The results vary. Pretty cheap state bred into 25K optional claiming, but did jump to 50 into X company and wins. So maybe he probably saw that and said, "Oh yeah, I think we could take on this field." I trust Mark Cassidy. He knows what his horses are capable of. So uh, even though it is a significant jump in class to a grade 3 race and never been more than 9 furlongs, so that's a step up in distance as well. So tough to back for the win, but like I said, it's Mark Cassidy. Number 6, Safe Trip Home. William Cowens trains. Manny Esquivel will ride. This is another jumping class, but 80K win at Churchill Downs is no slouch. Beat Freedom's Way, who won their next out. A mile and a half under his belt underneath that in April at Keeneland in a pretty good race. Ran a real slow. When you have that minus 26 coming home, to be able to still close ground to fourth, not bad. So probably needs a little pace to get after it a little better, but did perform pretty well on the all weather without pace. So the more than ready colt, I think probably not going to make a ticket, but maybe exotics. Now, Twirling Point making the ticket. Couple of also rans and graded stakes. Recently made his debut on August 15th at Del Mar. So coming in off the Hollywood Derby last November, just came in, ran third, going a mile, closing well, had some traffic. So I think the next out's going to be really good, taking the blinkers off, which is a sign that he saw what he needed to see in the horse. So Axel Concepcion steps in. That's a downgrade from Rispoli, but I think he likes it. I think he's faced horses better than this. He's got a good shot. And then we go Zevon for the last horse in the race. And this one I don't give much of a chance to with the cheaper maidens, and really just took that many races. 13th start is a charm. So sometimes that is just a snail's pace too. No thanks. So I'm going to play the number 7 Twirling Point to win and the key box with the 135. And then it's going to be leg 2 of your pick 6, which would be leg 1 of your pick 5. And we're going to go with the 3 and the 7, the 2 strongest horses there. The 3 was the Just a Photo, the Justify colt, and then Twirling Point, which is, I believe, by Twirling Candy. Yes, of course. Now, jump into race 7. A pair of 5.5 furlong sprints. We're going to start with the Rosies, and this is for 2-year-olds. And we'll start with number 1, Gypsy Art, first time starter. And I've said on occasion, I almost auto fade first time starters, but Wesley Ward with 2-year-olds is a wizard. Turf sprints, he's a wizard. So debut turf, non-graded stakes, 26. Look at all these percentages. Not the best ROI, but not the worst either. You've got a good jockey in Victor Espinoza riding, so serviceable enough. I don't think that he expects this one to win, but he's probably just putting him in there to see what he's got, because he's also got another one that's got a very strong chance of winning. And so we'll get to that one in a minute. Next one is Mr. Randy. And this one is a closer who closed to a neck win first out off the turf. So they were going to run him at 5.5 at Colonial, but it got pulled. So lots of bad juju over here. Poor turf starts, 0 wins and 18 starts on first grass. Just not very good. Passing on that one. Chasing My Dream. Debuted versus stakes horses, chased and faded. That vaulted him into a nice maiden win next out, going 5. Wire to wire as the favorite. Big 92 speed figure, too. Showed a pretty good turn of foot, too, hitting that stretch and kept the task down the stretch. And the stats don't look great for the connections, but the horse is the one that's got to do all the work. So this one I would give a chance to, especially playing exotics. And then you have the number 1 Fear, This is Jose D'Angelo, Paco Lopez. Good results, and I like the improvement. Third, second, first going across the board, and then it was Dirt's, and then the turf was the one that set him off. So really good progression by D'Angelo here. Obviously, the third off the layoff, he's 25%, so he's really getting ready to roll with this one. And made a seamless turn himself, showed great acceleration down the stretch in the wind. So fear is one that we need to be worried about, so to speak. Wine Candy is next up. Switching to a high percentage jockey, Jamie Rodriguez. Some pretty good results going so far. Hasn't run on the grass yet, so I might have to pay to see that one here. Led the way into the stretch, was outfinished on the sloppy sealed surface in the Proud Man. So not too bad. Got some stakes experience too. Could very well get it done. You never know. Royal Testament next up for George Weaver. He began his career with her career with a stakes race, which lost by 9 lengths, but that set up the drop into maiden and the win at Monmouth. Weaver knows what he's doing. Solid 86 speed figure. Kicked clear after that turn and came home. So one to also consider, at least for exotic, second in prime power. You can definitely consider on the ticket. We'll show you that in a minute. And now you got Antrax. This is Carlos Munoz and Francisco Arieta trying the grass after 2 dirt efforts, including the second time out maiden breaker. Started out at 7, then went to 6. So, like I said, not going to try to back them all coming off of the dirt and going to the grass, even though breeding suggests with the sire of authentic. So, passing on that one, most likely. Rogue Legend shipping in from Great Britain after running third. That Windsor Castle, he finished a well placed third. This reminds me, I definitely did watch this Windsor Castle, and there were definitely 23 horses in the race. He looked pretty good because he was easy to pick out being the gray, and then ran up, almost got the lead, and then dead heated for third. So pretty good effort there. Now coming back from Ascot, it's pretty tough, but been off long enough. Wesley Ward brings him in, puts Carmouche on. So I'm gonna feel strong for the win here. Then you have number 9, Red Lad, and that is a couple of stakes efforts here, back to back thirds. A win on the fast Indy turf, or it got pulled off the turf, the fast Indy dirt, I should say. 1 by 6 going away. So I don't know what to think. They kept him on dirt for the next one at Prairie Meadows, and then tried the Tyro at Monmouth and was beaten by Hey Nay Nay, and 8 lengths, not so great. Now you have Riches 2, having some trouble getting on the grasses. This one, 2 back-to-back tries that got pulled off the turf. Pretty good results though. Not the greatest speed figures. So I think he ran well in spite of being on the dirt rather than the grass. Now has 2 races under his belt and is going to need to make a jump. So I don't think it's likely. So basically, what I'm going to do for race number 7 is I'm going to play the number 8 Rogue Legend for the win and a key box with the 3-4-6. Then on leg 3 of the pick 6, it's going to be 4-6-8. So we go to race 8, and that's the DeHalse. And this one's another 5.5 sprint. And I believe this one is for 3-year-olds and upward. So we got a little bit more experience here, a little bit older horses. Smooth B comes up first. Jockey's 0 for the turf. He has hit the board in 44% of the race. So almost half of the 27 starts. Maybe he's due. That's what they say, but I don't think I'm going to go this time. Ran in that state bred stakes at Penn, finished third behind 4 Harp. 10 years old now, though. Grinder. The only check he's probably cashing in this race might be the Social Security check. 10-year-old, you don't see that too often. So 4 Harp coming up next. And this one did win that race over the aforementioned 10-year-old. And then previous to that, ran the Wolf Hill, wasn't very good in that one, but lots of experience. Hasn't raced at Colonial. I like the fact that Pennington got a lot out of this horse down the stretch. When I watched this, Frankie was really hammering hard to get 4 Harp going down the stretch on a Penn turf that I feel is a little bit more soft or giving, slower, so to speak, than others. So this one, I think, if the weather stays dry like it has been out here, it's going to be a much quicker effort for a horse that likes to be on the lead. So 4 Harp looks good. Now you have Querme Pass, and this is solid results since coming to the States. Cheaper company, not beating them. So that's not good for a step up in class, leading all the way, going across, and then just can't get there. Tried the all weather to the turf, it still didn't work. Only lost by 3/4 of a length going a mile, but we're actually just cutting back to 5.5 here. So you would think the cutback would be beneficial. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Then you have Doncho coming up next. Had a big win last out, big 96 speed figure, just at optional claiming 62 and a half at Ellis, but pretty good race nonetheless. I think that those Ellis turfers do pretty good translating over to other tracks. Uh, it was weird. The pace rating was just average, but this is the new course record. And I think you'll be hearing a lot about that. I thought it said world record. But it didn't really look all that fast to me. So I'm not really sure what to think of that coming out of it. Maybe a career race. Can you do it again? Probably not. Now, this one is one I'm going to be looking at hard. Witty will need a setup. Comes from way downtown, as you can see, did in the Van Cleef at Colonial at this distance. That's what I really like. Probably going to get a lot of play. Second in prime power. It's pretty easy choice for me in this one on the two horses. Ran in a tough field in Harvey Pack. Didn't have enough pace. Then got the pace in the Colonial. Obviously, he's dangerous if given that opportunity to rally up. Then you got Mr. And this one is Joe Shark, Kendrick Camouche, and a string of seven straight there stakes races, up and down, couple second and a third, really not greatest results. Then drops in for the optional claimer to get the win. That I don't like. Drop down to go up. Might use the early running style, but I think I'm looking for the stalker types. So we'll move on to Oceanic, who is more of a stalker type. Danny Kelser, or Kelsey Danner, I should say, takes over June 29th back in 2024. So coming all the way around, this is the opener, full year off, and ran fifth at Ellis Park. So not terrible. Was restless in the gate. I mean, it was really just banging around in the gate and then cut loose out of the gate. So might have expended a little unnecessary energy there. Um, and class can sell sometimes. So got more graded stakes experience, things of that nature. Three different races in the past, but it is 8 year old. When they start getting older, I think the speed goes first. That in some of these horses, so you have to be fast to win these races. So Oceanic is a little bit long in the tooth there. Now you have Incinerator, who's not long in the tooth, half the age of the prior horse. And this one is a little young. 3 wins and 5 starts at Colonial is nice. I think if they were still going against Allowance Company or optional claimers, but I think there's just better horses here. I do like the experience and the success at Colonial, but then you have Allegon, who's obviously grade two Troy, grade one Japer, elusive quality, third, just missed by a length. Won the turf sprint at Aqueduct last November. Uh, grade three third, Parks Dash win. So lots of good earnings. Couple of races at Colonial. Hasn't been at Colonial in some time. Picking up Paco Lopez since Irad is I think Irad's on the shelf, but he'll be riding at Kentucky Downs anyway. So this one is definitely your likely favorite. Ran against AG Bullet, my boy Prince, things of that race. The jockey and trainer, 28% in non-graded stakes. I think he's beatable, but I'm not going to bet against him. I'm going to go with the 5 Witty to win, and then key box him with the 2-7 and the 9. And then the leg 4 is going to be 5-9. So now we're going to go to that old Dirty Oaks first, race number 9. Now we have a mile and an eighth on the turf. And I have a separate video on this, so I'm going to plow through this one pretty fast. So just go watch the other video. But basically, in a nutshell, uh, something about her was pretty solid, a contender. As Catch Can, I passed on. Sign No More was my pick to win. I think it's kind of a minor upset pick. I think that the Boiling Springs was a proper race, won willingly. Pretty lavish, looks pretty good. Second in the Hilltop was pretty solid there. So I should at least be panning down here. So pretty lavish right there. Grand Motion, Carmouche, can't go wrong there. And then Mischief in Motion, uh, probably not going to get there. But this was the hot fire trainer jockey combo here. 37%, win in last 60 days, 74% in the money. And that's over 19 starts. So that's a pretty good sample size, to be honest with you. So that one's one you could look at for definitely exotics. Passing on Sheila's Lion. Evershed is definitely a contender we have to use here. Evershed finished second behind Laura Lynn and in that tough Saratoga Oaks. Then you have Be Together, who I'm passing on. Still thinking of you, Paco up. One I would probably like to hit the board at a price. And then the real tough one, Will Then, probably the first in prime power. Fifth, only lost by a length and 3/4 in the Del Mar Oaks. Then a third, and then a fifth in the Edgewood. Just three straight monster graded stakes efforts or races that they were in. We're going in a listed stakes here, so class sells in this one. Obviously, only beaten less than 2 lengths in the last one, so face much tougher. I will be looking for value. That's why I'm picking the three, and I'm actually spreading since I had the cash. I'm spreading deep here. I'm going 1, 3, 5, 7, and 10. So I'm going 5 deep in this one, and I'll add it up for you at the end. Cheap tickets too, by the way. So number 3, Sigh No More, win key box with the 1, 5, 7, and 10. Now we'll skim over the ODD, Old Dirty Derby. World Beater is the single. Go watch the video for the play. There's nobody beating World Beater unless he scratches or something bad happens, which we don't wish for that, obviously. So let's finish this thing up because this was the way I thought was best to display the content this week for Colonial because I don't know how popular the racing is going to be. So I did a separate video with the Derby and the Oaks. That's out already. Give that one a look. Then I did this video, and that's going to cover us for Colonial. So we've got a pick 6 and a pick 5. Double dipping here. We covered all the stakes races. So you got win bets and you got single race bets, and then you got 2 bets here, vertical. And now we're going to go for a 20-cent. Oh, dirty 6. 4, 5, 6, 7 is leg 1. 3, 7 for leg 2. 4, 6, 8 leg 3. 5, 9 leg 4. Then the Oaks is 1, 3, 5, 7, and 10, going 5 deep because we're singling the 6 in the final, and that is just a $48 ticket for a pick 6. So not bad. Now for your pick 5 hammer time, this one's only going to be $30. So you just eliminate that first race, and then that gives you the rest of your field. Obviously, the 3, 7, the 4, 6, 8, the 5, 9, the 1, 3, 5, 7, and 10. Then we single that 6 World Beater, $30 ticket for 50 cents. Hammer time. That's the show. Making sure you tune in for more coverage this week. We're going to hit Kentucky Downs. Remember, the split the pot draw is Thursday. You must be a subscriber. You can pick either track. You don't have to be Kentucky Downs, but it is going to be a Kentucky Downs video. So be on the lookout for that. But you must be a subscriber to be eligible. So if you haven't done that, reevaluate your life. See you soon.